The Rajiv Vast team's attitude, determination and status of the field. The key to the contest is also the decision. In the case of the first case, the coach of Madai suddenly withdrew Kassan from the town. McCain was the first to give up his job as a priest. The team was not as good as the mission. They were in the third quarter and scored 20. One of the keys to becoming a hero. This is not the first time he has made a name for himself in the series. Game 3 was only 24 points down. He has played no one in the first round and he has made a great turn. Many journalists and media have sent praise for him. The first is the battle of the sexes. McCain is the most unlike the rebels. The West is not included. McCain's skill set is good. What is the added reason for his arrival? Today, let's talk about McCain, the weakest in the skill contest. McCain's season of Rice is not the best. He was not a member of the United Nations Security Council, but was a member of the UN Security Council. Last season, he delivered the 1530 exports to the army before the sale. The goal is to hit the ball without hitting the ball. Many people have said, the season had broken down if not for the torn left-handed outer crescent plate. The new king should have been the one who hit. But early in the season, McCain, a commercial McCain, was never reused by 76 people. One is to find more flowers than this team. The backyard is already taboo. I'm not sure what I'm doing. McCain, on the other hand, was the first to be wounded. 3 of the conditions are not the best. He ended up playing 37 games in 76 games. The first of these was the first. The Army was able to get the score at 6.6 and 16.8 minutes. Both hits were less than last season. The average rate of hit was only 50.6%. So after entering the 2,266s, he has asked about the changeover. I have to say, Retin is also showing pigs. The first time I saw the video was in the video and I was surprised to see the video. McCain is also a trade. The newly formed government has been working on a new plan to improve the health of the country. Barlow, the two sides are meeting. In fact, the last of the 76 people in the crowd, McCain's projection has already been duplicated. After arriving in Reading, the SGA is too strong to attack. McCain has been given more vacancies. Last half of the season in Reading, McCain's time in the army has only slightly increased. The first time I saw the video was in the last 18 minutes. The number of military personnel increased to 10.4%. The report also showed that the number of people who were killed in the attack was 39.1%. The first is that the average person is a small child. He is a great writer. One of the main fire points of the Retin's rise. Many people said at the time, the deal seems to have paid off a lot of championship. The real money. I didn't think about it. The game is over. McCain is still a surprise to the ballot. In fact, the figures are not as good. He was only 9.65% of the field in the playoffs. The report also highlights the impact of the attacks on the country's population. The first step is to get the right people to know each other. The problem is that he is not the core of the team. The player is not the most indispensable player. The first is the stop. The first is that the virus is not a virus. The team is not going to be able to get any more firepower. It's already overvalued. The first time he was in the country, he was a terrorist. McCain is a clique. Players who are bigger than their hands. He is on the verge of a full arsenal of weapons. The problem is that the government is not a good country. The first is that the game is not a game. He is a former police officer, but his transportation control and basic skills are quite strong. The first is that the group of people who are not in the military are not the only ones who are in the military. The goal of Game 5 in the second half. He is a self-defense man who has been attacked by Fox. I'm not going to be able to get out of here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm going to Fox. Put the ball in the box. And there are more logging. The first time I saw him, I was in the middle of a conversation. He is also a former football player. McCain's ball-throwing skills are very mature. The first is the firewall. The project is not a project of any kind. Look at this ball. He is the first person to have a voice in the Fox defense. High difficulty in putting the ball in. This is a round. McCain should be protected against the SGA. The game is played in 2 different locations outside the third line. The first is the third hardware. McCain is still in the process of attacking the Taliban. The game is a very difficult one. The attack on Mars's defense was deadly. The first is that the internet is not a place for people to be. The SGA is a collaboration between the CBI and the SGA. The first is the battle of the sexes. The police are not there. This is as long as others in the Thunder Hall can play. The first is that the government is not going to be able to fight back. I don't know if it is. Game 5 is the only game they can continue to do. What is the meaning of this? McCain is still a strong backup player with the ability to seize opportunities. Game 5 Episode 4 has a roundup. Mars's defense is not in place. McCain's only vacancy at that moment. But he can catch and throw in. The match was a huge disappointment for the defense of the ball. The first is to use the temporary key. McCain in Game 5 is so good. If we go back to Game 3, we will see the game. He was surprised to find that the one he was in was even more surprising. I'm not sure. He is a better hardware pitcher. The first is that the government has not yet taken action. I'm not sure what the answer is. This is a ball. McCain is on the line. The government has been trying to get the money back. Forced release. The first is the Street of the Dead. The results are complete. I want the ball back. McCain's bottom corner is covered with a backspace. I'm not sure what I'm doing. We've lost almost 2 points. The game is a great game. The government has been trying to get the government to stop the violence. This is not a PP. What can be done? I'm not a fan of the Hulai. The most appreciated is his hardline attitude. The courage to stand up for what we do. This is the scene of the division final. It's not every second-year student. The first time I saw the video was in the video. McCain is a game that is not a game of chance. The two cases were 44-24. He even played Game 4 in his hands. He also dared to throw 10 times. This is amazing. McCain's courage to stand up for the rule. The country is also suffering from severe weather. The world is so bad. The first is that the internet is not the only way to get people to know each other. One of the main reasons for the popularity of the brand. In fact, if we compare the current lineup of Thunder and Mars, it's hard to believe thunderstorms are on Mars. JDF and AJ are the two biggest. The absence of permanent staff is crucial. The ability of lightning to directly trigger thunderstorms. The cost of the project is 30%. The commentary says, this is the stage. The company is also a major supplier of mobile phones. McCain and Carousel were not the only ones who have been killed. The response was harsh. The first is that the internet is not a place for the public to see. The first time I saw my brother was in a coma. McCain is not just a destination. It's as simple as taking and sending a camera. He is more important. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to go to the polls. The following are the most common reasons. The attack was not difficult. In a fierce race environment, the goal is to score a goal like this once. The first 2 goals were scored in a single goal. The damage to the defense is greater, so Game 3 and Game 5 are combined. McCain's death rate was only 42.5%. The name of the player will still feel that he is very good. This is because we all know clearly. The game is a hard-fought one. The importance of production comes from efficiency. This is why. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The game is a hard-fought one. The 2 top scorers split. Kobe and K. Kobe is probably the person to trust more. I hope we get McCain back. He also blew up box at the key site of Game 5. The latter figure is only 4 out of 15. The first time I saw this was in the morning. What is the meaning of this article? McCain's mind is just beyond box. 1/10 of the contest. The first time I saw a video of a woman in her home, I was surprised. The first is that the expression represents the first of the faces. The first is that the internet is not the only thing that is happening. It's a natural thing to do. The first is that the city of McCain was destroyed by a nuclear bomb. The races are getting worse and worse. He is a good player. The Suntide series. McCain doesn't even have much time to show up. The game lasted just 22 minutes. I got 4 points. But the second round is for the Lakers. McCain played more than 15 minutes in all 3 games. The result was 12 points in 3 games. 18 and 13 points. The whole series. He was also killed 163.2% of the time. The first time I saw the video was in January. The murder rate is steadily increasing. Why did you go to the high-end station? McCain is a great success. The first is the sun. McCain is not allowed to participate. This is due to the depths of the rainforest are unknown. The team is too many to play for. A couple on Mars are playing Game 5. AJJ is not fighting. The rain hall is still open at regular times. The last time the 2 men were in the same room, they were in the same room. In fact, the game is a healthy game for AJs and JJ. McCain's order of rotation is still relatively backward. He is a very powerful attacker. The 2 men were not stronger than the other 2. The first is that the country is not a country. McCain also played less than a Han. The reason for this is that the government is not responsible for the deaths of the people. The coach of Made has overcome his strengths. He was a second-grade heartthrob after all. Before the trade to the mine hall. Never played in a playoff game. I don't know if Made thought about it. The video is about the first time that a video was released. He is still in the playoffs, but he can still make it through the playoffs. The next game will be Game 5. McCain is the biggest test of the playoffs this year. After a series of explosions, Maz will definitely put him in jail. Out of the SGA. The most urgent care needs. The first is that the government is not going to be able to protect him. The first is that McCain is not a man. The next one could explode. We can't do that anymore. The average player is evaluated by the average player. Next post, the heart of the mine after the explosion. He is likely to be right. How to become a helper for SGA. One of the biggest helpers in the country. I always come here. McCain is a real overvalue for the rainy season. The first is that the government is not going to take any action. McCain's comments. The contest has changed the course of the race. He was a key player in the game. I'm not sure. The news is that the media is not interested in the news. He also said, McCain is a business that is not understood by 76 people. The first time I saw the video was in the video. This time, my review is. The first is the mine. Maybe it's just a game of fun. After all, the SGA is the largest of the major railway stations in the world. What they sent back. GW's right to vote. The last time I saw them was in the past. The trade between McCain and the mining towns is actually. We can find out. This is how strong the team is in their determination to be free. The report also highlights the importance of the new approach to the development of the internet. This is a team that is clearly more defensive than attacking. The defense is fully open. The attackers are still trying to get rid of the SGA. The story of the gunman. The following is a list of the most common types of sports betting. The first is that the country is not a democracy. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. The race was won by Mass 3. The third of the rainy halls are not using their heads properly. The first is the fireflowers. They decided to abandon 4 electoral rights. The following is a list of the most common causes of cancer. This is a very strategic reinforcement. If the mine is in gold without McCain, it could be very difficult to do. The first one was a full-blown movement. The attack on Mars is also more familiar. How did this happen? We should not forget to praise Presti's personal skills. If the hot fires were the core fleet with the main torpedo, the main part of the fleet is the minefield, which is clearly the main fleet. SGA is their deal. The first time I saw the video was in the video. This is not just the 12th place Lotus Edge. Take AJ for example. Jalen is a journalist. Aaron Wiggins is not ranked high either. Dort is more than just a draft. The first is the greatest day of the world. After the 2024 World Cup was eliminated, they decided to sign Harden's time. He also changed his hand to his brother. The two companies have been directly helped by the deal. The main force. The contest is open to all players who are interested in the game. The deal is for Karu and for us. I can only say, the eyes and breaks are indeed. The union is a betting party. The video was posted earlier. The rainbow is coming. The opposition is the biggest in the union. The first is that they are so good at it. The other side. The first time I saw a video of a woman who was pregnant with her daughter, I was in a coma. This is a bit of an exaggeration. The blows of certain places and times are unacceptable, but in parallel, it is messy. The last time I saw him, the game is a game of chance and the game is a game of chance. The defense is basically not moving so well, Karu. I'm not sure what happened to the kids. The first is the fireflowers. The first time I saw a video of Karu's death, I was surprised to learn that he was not there. I'm not sure what I'm saying. I hope that players like this will come later. The game is a great game. But for the sake of the fans of Mars, he played better. I feel more pain.